All right. Welcome to the WDGPoopcast. My name is Space and David. You are listening to a podcast. I tried to do it really fast. I tried to do it so fast.
Okay.
Chris,
In one.
wait, what? You're hammering your keyboard. What are you doing?
Let's put it down. Just put it down.
And Jim sounds like he's now having a fight with a robot. Why wasn't this happening? Why was this not happening when we were just chatting crap? As soon as I say let's start the podcast, you start going. And Jim goes back to a 56k modem. What the fuck just happened?
Hello?
This is our stupid podcast about computer games. We live in Japan, but no one cares.
I care.
This is me sipping water.
Cares.
My name is Space and Dava. I'm the only professional here.
Yeah? How much do you get paid for this?
I meant professional as in the adjective, not the noun.
What?
I'm the only professional person. It's not the same.
Do you mean professional in terms of what YouTube commenters mean when they say professional on YouTube videos?
Yeah.
You didn't like this game I like, and to be professional, you have to like everything I like.
Yeah. You're being unprofessional if you think that I'm not a good podcast demon.
Or do you mean professional by that you don't have to wrap your mic with the sock? You actually have a proper spittle guard.
I've never soiled myself on TV. I've never, a professional.
Well, I strive. I would someday shit on the radio.
I've never shat myself on TV.
Yes.
Sign me up.
So we all live in Japan. That's new. It's not often we all. Oh, I guess it is.
Last week it was.
Who was on last week? I wasn't really. I don't listen to these episodes.
Chris
even
was
when
here last week, and meet the other Chris, Scotch Chris, was here last week.
Do you say Scotch?
Scottish.
The Scotch.
There was
Scotch Chris.
There was a glottal stop that
okay.
my microphone didn't pick up. Also, I'm bad at it because I'm not northern like you.
You're not very good at the glottal stop. I was talking to Redland Cannibal. I don't know how you pronounce it. Is she called Stacey? Do we
She's
use
been on
her
the show before, and we've called her Stacey.
Okay, so we can call her Stacey. Apparently, if I pretend that Hawaii is called Hawati and then pronounce it in my accent, I'm basically doing it right. Although I have to pronounce the W as a V. So to say Hawaii properly, I say Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaii. Okay.
I'm pretty good at pronouncing Hawaii, almost accidentally.
Yep.
So this is our podcast about how we pronounce foreign-sounding words. Which is actually quite true.
Bastard.
It's
Instead of bastard, I say bastard.
Yeah, you do. Bastard just sounds like someone who stole your hunting cap.
I've been playing Stealth Bastard.
You talking about? Are you trying to transition into computer games?
I'm trying to be the professional that you're not.
Have you
Is that the segue?
Are you shitting yourself? This is the litmus test of professionalism.
I shit myself this morning, sir. I made my bowel movement.
Before we talk about computer games, I need to check. Has Jim been on the podcast before?
No.
Okay, we need to introduce Jim. Okay.
Hi.
All right. Hi.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim. What country are you from, and who is your least favorite supporting character in a computer game?
I'm from the United States, and my least favorite supporting character in a computer game. Does it have to be computer? Can it be some other form of game?
It can't be a board game.
Jinx.
Let's see. My least favorite supporting character is Benjamin in Thomas Was Alone.
Oh, nice. I haven't played that.
That's quite nice. It's quite good. It's fun.
Except for that supporting character.
Except for Benjamin. He's an ass.
Yeah.
The correct answer is Slippy from Star Fox.
Never played Star Fox.
Help me, Fox, you dick.
The correct answer is Atari. We all know that.
Atari is the worst support. That's probably true, actually. Certainly in the case of the 5200 or the Jaguar, the worst supporting character in any game on those systems was the system itself.
Right.
Yeah.
The fucking
Dave owe me
Atari.
a Coke? Dave, you owe me a Coke.
What?
Coke.
I don't know.
Dave's on mute.
I think Dave's disappeared.
He thinks we're doing the spoiler cast right now.
Right, I'm in charge now. Dave's gone.
Let's just jump into the spoiler cast.
Bastards.
Alright.
I played Stealth Inc. this week.
No, you dicks! You jinxed me!
What you did?
You're supposed to say my name to unjinx me!
Who?
Ah, I'm sure I did. Like,
You didn't! You didn't! You just went, hurt drinks, and then carried on with your conversation. I've been sat here for literally dozens of seconds.
Don't.
I wanted so badly to say something. I've never got anything to say, though.
No, like, your attempts to be avant-garde are just as bad as Jay's were before we started the show.
You're hopeless.
We're just going to release, like, a podcast that's just us sitting in silence for a bit. And see
Everyone's
how long
fucking
it goes.
jinxed. All
Say
right,
my name.
Jim,
Hi.
which part of the US are you from?
I'm from the middle part.
Oh, fuck off.
Kansas.
Be more specific. All
I'm
right.
from the Kansas part.
Are you from
Part
Kansas
where
City
no-
or Kansas State that's not in Kansas City, or whichever way around it is?
Kansas City is partially in Kansas State. I'm from Kansas State. I'm from a very, very small town.
Do you
Kansas State.
do you like that basketball team with the bird as their symbol?
I'm supposed to, but not really.
Oh,
The Kansas Pigeons.
The Jayhawks.
Jayhawks. I was going to say Blue Jays, but that's possibly a different sport.
Awesome name.
It's not a real bird. It's a historical thing.
Okay. All right, that's that. We've introduced Jim now.
Wicked.
Fuck
Thank
Jim.
you.
Okay. Right.
And Jay's here for his weekly debut.
Yeah, Jay. Guessing that he's ever been on the podcast before and how it works.
I make a debut every weekend.
So,
Here I am.
every time I'm on, which is to say every time the podcast is good, we enjoy thoroughly some trivia excitement.
Wicked.
So before that, you chaps need to choose your buzzers. There are 3 of you now, so there might be some actual competition. What is that noise?
Is that another toy?
Jesus Christ.
That's his buzzer. He's got the
I think he
fleshlight.
just shit himself
in
on
beta.
TV, man.
No! I'm unprofessional. I'm Phil Fish.
I'm madly autistic.
No, it's all a put on, man. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a gimmick. Yeah, well, like, me and Tanner had, like, this long Twitter debate yesterday, and it was like, you should have been on the podcast, we should have argued that at the time. And then he was like, he didn't show up.
I think
he's got a wife or something.
He's going to be the greatest supervillain of all time.
No, well, Marcus Beer is a proper twat, but
is he an actual
Phil Fish
bigoted
is just
wanker boy?
socially incompetent. Yeah, he's a bigoted wanker. Yeah, he's like, he patents himself after Jeremy Clarkson, which is like kind of all you need to know.
Yeah, I used to find Jeremy Clarkson mildly amusing when I lived in very middle England.
Yeah, right. And then like you kind of become an adult, and
yeah,
and
the jokes stop being funny because you realise they're not actually jokes.
Right.
All right, so we've got 3 sections as per usual. Jim, you're new, so you can choose. Do you want the anagram? Do you want Who Am I? Or do you want the Metacritic review?
Let's go for the Metacritic review.
Ah, balls! This one's really long. I've just finished my... It's good though. I've got to do a lot of talking, and I've just finished my big old mug of juice, so my pipes are good to go, I think. For this one, there are actually 2 reviews.
Okay. Is one really high and one really low?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm inclined to go with the low one.
Is the spelling crap? Is it grammatically?
I think they're both
insane?
actually okay. They're both okay. Usually I usually pick one that's funny. I like to laugh at people whose second language is English. But this time, no, people come both right. Okay. Do you want Jay? Do you want bad or good first?
Good.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. All right. This one's written by Apo. If we go to Apo's profile page, this is shocking. I'm thoroughly shocked by this. The guy who's given it a 9 out of 10 has only ever written 1 review on Metacritic. That's bizarre. Okay. All right. Apo says, I can't agree with many people saying there's nothing changed from God Mode. Yes, some animations look the same, and
Chris.
there are... Oh, all right, you haven't chosen a buzzer. We didn't do that, so you can't buzz in.
That's my buzzer, Chris.
No, right. You want to do it? Choose your buzzer now, dickheads.
Chris.
Was that a child shouting daddy?
Probably. No.
Do you realise you're the father in question, Jay?
Yeah, I know, but they weren't talking to me.
They're talking to New Daddy, the one who pays attention to them.
No.
Okay.
Never, you know, at the TV. But my buzzer is Fleshlight.
Okay, kids in the house. All right. Jim, your buzzer is some kind of weird toy thing. That's revolting. Chris, what's yours?
Chris.
You're going to say your own name?
Yeah.
What a knob. All right, Chris has already technically buzzed in then, I suppose. All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to ruin it for everyone and say it early, or do you want to wait until the end, Chris?
Well, I'm definitely going to get it right, so, like,
all right.
Shall I reserve my answer?
No, all right. It's okay. He can... All right, let's leave a bit of mystique about it. Some people won't know about it. All right. Yes, some animations look the same, and there are only 2 weapons you can switch between. But, what is that noise? Are you buzzing in? I think he's hurting a sheep.
I just killed him.
But the gameplay is different. Maybe due to another balance and level design. May space B due to another... No. This game has some new features as abilities and consumables. I think that's meant to be such as. Betting system also seems to be fun. But it needs more people online to be tested. Overall, I think it's a good game. If you really don't expect too much from a movie-based title that only costs $10, worth its money.
Oh God! There was 2 of those movie-based titles that were $10, and the other one was.
Is this
the other one that's not? Yeah,
recent game?
Yeah.
It's this week, wasn't it?
I want to say yes. In the last 2 weeks, pretty sure.
Yeah.
Jim, I see now. You two, Chris has technically already buzzed in beforehand, so we've got to give him a chance to say his answer first. Chris.
All right.
Oh, it's well, I know what it is. It's R.I.P.D.
It's R.I.P.D.
Yes.
But the other one was Pacific Rim, the game, which Ukes made, like the WWE games.
Wrestling people, they got some free time, have they?
They also made Real Steel. It's like closer to the Real Steel game, I think, that Joe for some reason really likes. And so it's like a robot making slow punchy game that's crap. And then like I watched like the Giant Bomb Quick Look on it, and then all the comments were like, what do you expect? This game costs $10. Like, what do you expect? And it's like there's fucking, you can get Fez, you can get Shadow Complex, you can get a couple of Walking Dead episodes, you know, you can get Ever Extend Extra Extreme, you can get like all of these fucking games on Xbox Live Arcade alone, and you know, more than this is what you expect, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
I expect some things to be good even when they're free, personally. I expect... Jay! What are you doing?
That's not me.
It's your cable, it is you.
I didn't
see you lighting up. This is going swimmingly. All right, the second review, the negative review.
For the same game?
No, same game. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh,
okay. Okay. Blyant's Holder. So Apo only had 1 review ever, and actually Blyant's Holder also only has 1 review.
Oh, okay. Right. Usually I'd say like 1 review only ever, and it's leaping to the defense of RDD, saying like for $10, yeah, you might guess where that person works, perhaps.
All right. Blyant's Holder says, "This game sucks. Really. It is a complete and full reskin of God Mode, which, by the way, wasn't very good either, with a few added maps and animations. And for anyone who's gonna argue against me, how do you make a complete game from scratch in 3 months? Exactly. You don't. You should really try to avoid this game at all costs. Capital T. The people giving it 9, and 10 apostrophe S are obviously not real consumers." Jay, Jim, someone's in a tornado.
Yeah, that's
Jay. Sorry, that's Jay.
Yeah, that's the could have been the trash guy.
Even if you see this discounted, don't buy it! I'm really sorry telling people not to buy games from an indie dev, but come on, don't buy it! This will get the dev more money and encourage other devs to make these simple, reskinned cash grabs of their own games. Final score, 1. If you play this in capital op, you may find a little bit of enjoyment, but that's it! Avoid this game at all costs! 1 out of 10.
Fair enough.
That's all I
guess. I mean, even if it's free, you gotta try it.
Isn't... Bliance Holder, I'm sure you're a lovely, raging internetman, but isn't taking one game that some developers made and then adding a few levels and making it look a bit different and adding a couple of features usually called a sequel?
Yeah, but this isn't called God Mode 2, is it? It's called
Does that matter?
RIPD. Yeah, it does, because like if it was called like God Mode, here's a bunch of extra stuff for God Mode, that game you like, if you like God Mode, then fine. But like this isn't. It's like, you know, ooh, here's a new game about probably a shit film. I don't know.
Well, what's the difference between going from Gears of War 2 to Gears of War 3?
Because it's called Gears of War, so you know what you're getting.
Yeah, you're telling the consumer.
Well, you're getting.
It's not like it's, you know, I mean, it's not like Epic put out Gears of War, but they changed Dom into Batman and they called it Batman. Like,
what would be wrong with that though? If there were new levels and everything, like, I don't really understand the problem.
Well,
because that's what they do for sequels, right? And it's not like sequels cost less because they're sequels; they're still the same price.
Yeah, I get you. And I mean, I think I can't remember off the top of my head any titles that they changed the name even just a little bit.
If it was literally just a reskin and it was exactly the same, that'd be one thing. But
isn't that what they're saying?
Well, the negative reviews are even saying, "Oh yeah, there's a few added maps, I suppose." But that's like saying, "Oh yeah, there's another story, but it's still the same game."
No, it sounds to me. I don't know. I haven't played it, so and neither of you, so we're not in a position to say. But if you're saying that there's a few added maps, it's like. It's basically the same with a DLC patch in it, but it's being sold as a new game. Right? Like,
I'd argue that
it sounds like the maps are the same as well, and there's a couple of new ones on top.
I'd say that. Well, we don't know that.
We're basing like our entire opinions on Amazon.
Well, I'm just saying like, the concept
Metacritic
of
user reviews, which is not the way to go.
I'm saying the concept of having one game and then having a very similar game that you've clearly used the same engine and the same assets and like rejigged everything for, and calling it something else is the same to me as releasing a sequel. Just because it's got a 2 after it doesn't mean they're not being just as cheap in the way they develop their next game. Like I don't know.
Or how about a prequel called The First of Us?
Oh, would that be like a?
That's J-Dog's bad joke of the day.
No, you actually had worse jokes before we started. There weren't even jokes, but
would that be that would be like a popular style life sim, would it, or Spore or something like that?
Right,
The First of Us.
It would be, yeah. First of Us would be like Dust. Can I talk about Stealth Bastard?
Oh, go on. I'll switch my mic off.
I haven't played Stealth Bastard. I've been playing Stealth Inc., which is what Stealth Bastard is on PSN.
Or on the phone. I've been playing on Android. It's awesome.
Yeah, but it's called Stealth Bastard on your phone, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it should be. I agree with you on the
like
name.
It should be. Stealth Bastard is a far better name. But yeah, it's alright. There's a review of it on the website right now. It's like a 2D puzzle platformer thing, basically, where it's using stealth as the mechanic. So you've got to unlock the exit by hacking computer terminals and then walk through it, basically. But there's you've got to stay in the shadow because there's cameras and things that will shoot laser beams at you, and then like later on there are things that are blind but can tell when you're making a noise, so you've got to be quiet at the same time. And
so this is all kind of 2D Portal-ish, as like turret guns and shit.
It takes a lot of cues from Portal because it takes like the same sort of AI character that's continually chiding you. And I mean, like in Stealth Inc., it's all in text. Like there'll be a text pop up that says, you idiot, basically.
So I think like Jay, I've probably got it in a Humble Bundle or something at some point.
I think you bought it for me.
Oh, I'm lovely like that.
Right.
Thank you, man.
And yeah, it kind of, I mean, before I got it, it kind of reminded me or made me think sort of Metal Gear Solid meets Super Meat Boy in the sense of like lots and lots and lots of death, but it's for the most part it's pretty fair. You know, I mean, it's usually shit you've done wrong is why you're dying. There's a couple of bits where it's really badly miscommunicated, and like a couple of times I did have to go on YouTube, and then when I saw what you were supposed to do, it wasn't a thing of, oh, why didn't I think of that? It was more like, how was I supposed to know that?
Right, yeah.
When you have so there's one mechanic where there are some moving platforms that move up and then down and up and then down, and I had no idea that those can shunt you and give you a boost to your jump. It doesn't fucking tell you that at all. And then there's like, it introduces teleports, and some teleport gates will send you to a different place if you walk back through them afterwards. And you kind of need to know that to beat a couple of puzzles, and it doesn't tell you that. But I mean, yeah, for the most part, it's really fair. It's just, I don't know how you felt about it, Jay, because probably playing it on your phone, you played it in shorter doses than I did. But it just kind of feels like there's no real character to it that is of its own. You know, I mean, it kind of felt, oh, you know, here's this, obviously, like, the question marks and the exclamation points are taken from, like, Metal Gear Solid. Like, the original title of the game was Stealth Bastard Tactical Espionage Arsehole, I think. So, like, obviously that's where it's getting its Metal Gear Solid cues from it. But it's like, oh, you know, here's this bit they took from Meat Boy. Here's a hell of a lot they've taken from Portal. And it's like, there's not much to it that is Stealth Inc.'s. There's not much of its own character, you know what I mean? And that kind of, like, let it down for me.
Yeah, I just played it in short bursts on the train on my phone, and it's kind of frustrating. It's out on the PS Plus for $10, which I wish I'd have it. I think it would be much better on a controller-based system rather than a touchscreen.
Well,
but it is good.
It's on
fair.
PC as well, so I mean, if you got the Humble Bundle, you'll have the PC version as well, right?
I do.
Yeah, I just downloaded it. Yeah.
And I'll give it a shot on the PC, but I'd really like to. I think it'd be perfect. It's a perfect train game in short bursts.
It'd be good on your Vita, like, because then you've got the buttons and.
Yep, you got all the buttons. But I don't see the similarities between it and Meat Boy, besides that it's a platformer. But I saw a lot of similarities with the stealthiness and the platforming in Mark of the Ninja, where you got to basically dodge lights, and because if you get spotted by a light, then a laser will blow you up.
The thing is, what I said in the review is, like, it's a puzzle platformer that uses stealth as its theme. It's not a stealth game. And Mark and the Ninja is a stealth game, so I mean, it is like kind of, you know, sneak, and then there's parts where you're aggressive and you have to kill people. Whereas this is more, it's a logic puzzle.
Yeah, it's more.
Yeah, I mean, the theme is stealth and not being seen, but like that's not really what the game's about. It's just a puzzle platform.
I'm just saying the aesthetics is more, to me, it reminded me of Mark of the Ninja, where when I think of Meat Boy, I just think of levels of red.
Yeah.
You're just running and dying over and over.
Are you playing with a fake analog stick thing, or have they changed the controls for phones? You play like arrow keys on the screen, or are you like touching the screen to make him move and stuff? How are you doing it?
It's a fake analog stick with a couple buttons.
I don't think I've ever enjoyed a fake analog stick game.
League of Evil does it okay, but I think, like, as well,
and this does it well too.
Yeah, I think as well, like, there's a little bit, the worst levels in stealthing are the parts, even on PS3, where it's just as much about joypad dexterity as, like, mental dexterity. Like, there's parts where you have to jump with very precise timing, and I think it's got the remnants of that sort of mobile design to how the character moves, because the trick with mobile platformers is, like, if you have too much kind of inertia and, you know, movement to the character, then it gets very frustrating because you're playing with virtual buttons. But even with a controller, it's just he's slightly too stodgy. Like, it doesn't react quite how you need it to react.
It looks like you want to be moving at the speed of Meat Boy, but maybe you're a bit floatier than that.
Yes. I wanted him to be Meat Boy, and he was just a little bit too slow for that.
A vast virus database has been updated.
Wow.
You'll all be pleased to know I'm secure.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even find that program to close it. Talk about a stealth bastard.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to try and sort that out. Continue talking about computer games, chaps.
Jay, or shall we talk about the news?
Yeah, news.
News.
You sound so excited about all of that.
Oh god, the news.
Well, I got depressed by looking at my list of games that I was going to talk about, but yeah.
The news is a bit depressing as well. It was all about indie devs, the news this week. So Microsoft, in the good indie news, Microsoft kind of said they'll let self-publishing happen on Xbox One from next year. And the interesting thing is that every Xbox One will be a dev kit, essentially.
That is quite nice, yeah.
Yeah.
And it also makes sense. I don't understand why it couldn't have been like that for all consoles ever, or at least from this generation.
Sure.
Seems odd to me.
Yeah.
But isn't Sony just giving out dev kits at this point? They're just giving them away, right?
I think they're giving them to
for
indie
free.
devs who can't really afford them, yeah.
Yeah, if you're an indie dev, yeah. If you haven't made shit before, they're like $2,500, I think, at the moment. So, yeah, I wonder what it means for them from a security standpoint, because if everything's like a dev kit, they have to have...
Is it something that they have to specifically take to Microsoft and get it converted or something, do you think? Or do you just type in a code and it happens automatically? Because that will get hacked in minutes.
Or is it like XNA, which was kind of... I don't know, they kind of played with XNA like this, like... you know, and then like you had all those wonderfully terrible Xbox Live indie games channel.
Some of it was alright.
Oh, some of it was alright, yeah. Like Applejack and Tanner really liked Mount Your Friends, didn't he? But the bad indie games news came from Nintendo, and like there was a survey that came out just after GDC, and for some reason it appeared online like this week. Nintendo aren't accepting any submissions from these developers. If you're an indie Japanese dev, then fuck you, basically.
Very strange.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is it because they know there's uproar in America, but there isn't in Japan, so who cares? Let's just do the minimum.
What's weird about it, I was sort of doing some digging for the news piece this week, and I chanced upon the submissions policy as it stands for the eShop in general. And apparently for ages, months and months and months, there weren't any downloadable only games on the Japanese eShop for Wii U. Because if you want a game on the eShop, on the Wii U eShop, whereas in America you can self-publish, here you have to have a publisher, and that publisher has to have majority ownership in Japan.
Wow.
Which is, yeah.
It almost sounds like a Japanese sort of business law thing, because if you have any physical company in Japan, you have to have at least 50% Japanese ownership.
Yeah.
As in, Japanese people need to be the shareholders?
Yes.
Jesus, that's basically racist, isn't it?
Well, yes. Basically, yes.
It is, yeah. Or it's very sort of, very protective of
I guess, yeah. It's
the business
protective
policy,
economics rather than necessarily racist.
That's why if you, and Lord knows I'm not a fan of The Cave in any way, but like that's why The Cave got published by Sega here.
Right, yeah.
So what that worries me, what's concerning to me about that is that those policies might carry over to PS4 and to an extent Xbox One, and you know, as exciting as the main reason why, you know, I'm excited about the next gen is how easy it's going to be to get indie games, you know, playable. But like in Japan, I'm worried about that. I kind of need to be reassured that you aren't going to have the same situation where the only way, you know, the guys who made Terraria can get Japanese people to play Terraria is if fucking published it? I can't remember.
No, you put it out in a box though.
It was they put it out in a box. It was Spike. Yeah, Spike Chunsoft had to publish it because of weird fucking business practices, and they put it. Yeah, as I said, they put it in a box and they sell it for 4,000 yen instead of 1,500, which is what it should be. And
so weird.
That is crap, to be honest. Because it just means everything that Bit Summit did, or everything that sort of Pikachu does, or everything that Tokyo Game Show is going to be doing this year, like, it just means nothing, because it's like, hey, you can't sell your stuff. Tough. Because of this fucking publisher model that they're desperate to cling on to.
Yeah, if you want to sell indie games, you've got to go to an arts and crafts fair and literally hand out USB sticks.
Yeah, that's the only way. Yeah,
it's bizarre
because of this, fucking outdated business model. That it's bad for everybody except for the publishers.
Yeah, but I guess that's what they're protecting, isn't it?
Well, no, I mean Steam. I mean, even to you, Jay. I mean, like, Steam Greenlight Steam is just not as much of a factor for Japanese developers. Talking about Japanese specifically,
okay, that's true. Yeah.
Because I mean, in the West, I mean, the publisher model, like, you could see the publisher model going away, or like having to seriously change itself, because that's where fucking progress is. But I mean, I'd hate to sound Japanese behind the times, blah blah blah, but like this model is from, the worry is that while the rest of video games are advancing at a massive rate, like the Japanese scene is going to be left out in the cold, because like the future is in independence, not fucking.
Yeah, I expect the fear with them is that if we don't protect Japanese game publishers, then the Japanese game industry goes away.
Yes.
And it's just not the case, is it? You've seen that if you let it go indie, it starts a whole new life, and you raise a whole new generation of developers who started out in their parents' spare bedroom kind of thing. But then again, the whole Japanese society is based on, you go and do your schooling, and then you join a company, and then that company educates you and makes you better and things like that. The idea of being independent at almost anything probably seems, even music is so commercialized and like robotic and industrialized that
I think what you're finding is that this is shared just across all of Japan's creative industries. Like book publishing is exactly the same way. Look how far behind Japan is in ebook publishing. It's the same reason. Like, you've got all of these publishing companies that are trying to protect their own industry.
And the government's backing them up, because Japan is very long-term corporation-based, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It hurts everyone if a big company goes under, because then you've got thousands of people out of a job, and the social agreement built into living in Japan is you go to school, you get your job, you keep your job.
Yeah.
And it would feel like letting everyone down, probably, if companies were to start going bust because of this change. And that's what it would be. It would be change. It wouldn't be failure. It would just be an adapting market. But that transition period probably scares people. So
it's not going to go smoothly here.
No, but hopefully these little things.
Soon, I don't see companies following. I mean, in history, no one's really followed what Nintendo does. At least right off the bat. I mean,
no, but I mean, I think that the thing is, it's probably not Nintendo's issue, and it's not. Nobody in Nintendo came out and said anything. They didn't really explain themselves very well. But their only comment was, "Well, this is due to licensing issues. Why this policy is in place." It's not. As much, I doubt that it's Nintendo's fault. I think Nintendo would like to be able to take all these submissions, but it's the Segas and the Konamis and the smaller publishers like Spike and D3 who are saying, well, no, you can't do this. Like, unless we get a cut from these guys, then you're not putting these games out there.
No, yeah, I get that, and I'm not pointing a finger at Nintendo, but it's just from the trend that Sony is putting on right now, and Microsoft is kind of doing a 180 on the heels of Sony. They're basically
but that's not Sony. Like again, like Sony Japan and Sony US are like completely different
Yeah.
companies.
Have you looked at the Japanese PSN lately? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
Garbage.
fucking
It's
terrible.
garbage.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking at the future with the PS4, and I mean, Sony is handing out, like we said, dev kits already.
But that's
in
just
America.
for the Western.
Yeah,
This is
in America.
but
Those games aren't coming to Japan. I would guarantee you that you'll find the exact same policy with the PS4 in Japan.
think so.
Like,
think so.
Yeah,
we could.
because what we're seeing is, I mean, we maybe personally won't be affected because we can still get the games off of the Western PlayStation network, but the Japanese players who are sort of limited by language and by sort of initiative required to set up a foreign account, they're not going to be seeing the same games.
Yeah, hopefully
I
not.
would-
I mean, you can walk into Tsutaya by Terraria, like
Yeah,
for
but
the
I mean,
PS3.
again, as I said, that they had to jump through the hoops of getting a Japanese publisher, and then like it got put out, as I said, like a retail product at 3 times the cost.
Yeah, Terraria was
3 times the
originally
price.
like $8. You download it from their website and you run the executable. It's a,
And it's 4,000 yen on the Japanese PSN as well, and it's
Yeah.
$15 on the
because they
American
wouldn't be
one.
allowed to compete digitally because that would
Yeah.
hurt the physical. Yeah.
well,
So
that's
it's all a
ridiculous,
bit,
but,
it's a
yeah.
bit backward, isn't it? It's just going to take time. I think the popularity of iPhone. I was in Harajuku yesterday, and we went into some random shop, and they had the best phone cases, like serials from 20 years ago, and just loads of movie characters, like really nice art on the back of iPhone cases, and they were all iPhone. It was like a whole wall of iPhone cases just in this tat shop.
Yeah.
There were cool things everywhere all around the shop, but this whole wall was iPhone 5 cases. So iPhone is, even if Android phones are still doing really well here, Android is everywhere, and it's what the kids like, kind of thing. But that being such a open platform is not the right way of putting it, because it really isn't. But it's a very accessible platform. People can quite easily get their things on there.
Yeah.
So I think that model will hopefully, that's where the indie devs are going to go. That's where the people who used to work for Sega making multi-million selling games, that isn't happening anymore. That's where the people who get fired, or like the temps, the contractors for Resident Evil 6 are going to end up going because they don't have the work in the big corporations anymore, because Japanese big games aren't doing nearly as well. They're going to end up probably being on iOS and a push PC. PC is obviously open. It always has been. It always will be. You can just make a website and put your game on it and sell it through PayPal without any DRM, and you will probably do all right if your game's quite good. It will pick up traction over 18 months, kind of thing. But PC games aren't as much of a thing here for a start. And hopefully that gap will be filled by, Android, I guess, as well, but iOS, and how easy it is to set your own price, sell a cheap game that's quite simple. It took 2 or 3 people to make, because you can't really do that anywhere else, and that's really depressing.
But the thing
that's
is,
not an
as
option.
well, like, if anything, the PS4 submission policy, which is what Microsoft are basically aping from what I can tell, it's easier than iOS. It's like it's more streamlined than that is, because all the PS4 submissions policy is you send them code, and there's a 2-week process, and like all you get is notes back from them, and you can either choose to you opt
it's
into
not certification.
feedback.
It's just
It's
they'll give you some feedback.
You just get notes over whether to receive feedback or not. And it's entirely up to you what happens from there.
So that's quite that is a step easier than iOS. But I'm saying in Japan, if we're assuming that basically the indie scene won't exist because the government and corporations won't let them.
I don't know. Hopefully, I really hope, like, when we get to TGS, we'll be able to talk to some people who know more than we do. Because I'd really like to see. Obviously, I think because CESA, who are like the governing body here, the Computer Entertainment Software Agency Authority,
Association.
Association, thank you.
Maybe. It might be wrong.
Yeah. They are obviously aware of the indies because they started this like Sense of Wonder Night program. There's an entire separate section at TGS that's devoted to independence. So that's kind of, I don't know, that's a tacit approval of that stuff. But they have to balance their relationship with publishers at the same time.
It's kind of how and I'm surprised there wasn't more of this. The transition, basically Half-Life 2, the tension we expected with retailers, going to digital, and there'd be a big fight, and there'd be lots of legal stuff going on, and instead it took place over 10 years rather than over one, and the retailers are now, please Steam, can we sell vouchers in our shops? And it just took time. So hopefully, and I think the iOS marketplace will be showing everyone who has an interest in the industry that it's a viable indie games are viable, and they're not scary, and they're not going to put anyone out of business. If anything, they're going to make the world a better place. So hopefully, it's just one of those situations. So before we move on,
who knows?
Before we move on, do you all remember your buzzers?
Yep.
All right, good. Who am I? 5 clues. After each one, you may make a guess. If you fail at your guess, you cannot guess after the next clue. You must wait for one clue later. All right. Clue number 1. I hate Janken. What's up, Cat?
Chris,
Go on.
you're Alex Kidd.
Holy shit!
Shit.
Holy shit!
Who is that?
Gunpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think anyone would get that. I thought people would just say I'm saying I hate rock paper scissors and move on.
Yeah, if you think Janken, you think Alex Kidd, right? That's how all the boss fights work.
Who's Alex Kidd?
So unfair.
I don't even know either of these.
Alex Kidd was Sega's mascot before they
Sonic.
chanced upon Sonic.
Europeans.
Yeah.
But Janken was also actually the name of the bad guy. It's not just, he didn't just play Janken to beat bad guys, it was also the bad guy's name.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, there's one of the goods. Can't remember what it's the English titled Retro Game Challenge or something, but Game Center CX, like the Japanese TV show, there was a good one about Alex Kidd. And this guy, the gimmick with Game Center CX is that he sits down with an old game and he has to finish it in one go.
Right, yeah.
And just like the fact that the Janken boss battles are so ridiculously unfair, it made for good watching. But the thing is with that show is that he has like one of the interns, like he cheats because like he'll go as far as he can, but then if he dies, one of the interns has to play up to that point again.
No, that's bullshit. All right, the rest of the clues. Clue number 2, I have pointy ears. Clue number 3, I have massive sideburns. Clue number 4, I'm free, and because it was free everywhere, right?
It was
Master
free.
System.
Yeah, it was actually pre-installed on the Master System.
Oh, is that
no game inside.
Just to be clear, the Genesis is exactly the same box, right, as the Master System?
The Genesis is the Mega Drive.
Balls.
The Master System is the Master System.
Oh, it's called Master System in both countries.
Yeah, it was called in Japan. It's called the Mark III, Sega Mark III.
I thought the Mega Drive was called the Mega Drive in both countries, and the
Nope.
Genesis was the Master System.
No.
Why the hell would they call it Genesis? It's like the third console or something.
Because Phil Collins was popular. It was
I was just going to say that.
1989.
And the last clue, I have been known to visit Miracle World.
Yes, there you go.
And you all would have got it at that, hopefully. Maybe.
Yeah.
I never would have got it.
Alex
No
Kidd in
idea.
Miracle World.
Alex Kidd Miracle World. Alex Kidd versus Shinobi,
The
which was much better.
the only Sega game I ever played was Altered Beast.
Yeah, I played that one in Sonic and
Why is something all great?
Golden
Madden or
Axe.
something. And Golden Axe.
Echo the
Golden Axe at
Dolphin.
the
Come
arcade.
on.
No, I was a Nintendo kid. What am I gonna say?
Yeah,
None of my friends had a Genesis. None of them.
I guess I was actually an Amiga kid. My neighbor had Nintendo stuff, and my cousin had Sega stuff, and I visited my cousins more often. So I guess I became a Sega kid, but I was always like an Amiga and PC kid.
As I understand it, it was a bit more successful in Europe and in the States, but
Master System was pretty successful in Europe, but yeah, very, very super popular in Brazil was the Master System. Like they were making games for that, like up till like '96 or something.
wow, wow.
So,
Pretty random how things take off in certain places. And
yeah.
oh, this world we live in. All right. Anyone want to talk about computer games, or should we do the last trivia thing? Because Chris has already won today. There's no way.
I've already said all of the games that I'm playing. Jim, I want to hear what Jim's been playing.
What have I been playing? Let's see. I recently got a Vita. I think I got a Vita like 4 days before Jay did.
Oh,
nice.
Wow. Okay.
And
I just can't win.
and it's even blue.
I wanted the blue one.
Mine's blue.
Nice.
Jay won't swap.
It's lovely.
Mine's blue. No.
But so I was going for a while on all the free games. I quite enjoyed Knit Underground, and I was playing Gravity Rush. But then I downloaded the Soul Sacrifice demo, and I fucking love it. It's so good, and it's so good in like, it's like if they took Monster Hunter and took out all of the tedium, all of the growing mushrooms and the crap with the cats and stuff, and then layered it over with designs straight from a Dio album cover. It's just brilliant. I can't get enough. So I just bought it. I bought it last night off the PSN, and I will say this: try the demo, because the demo is quite possibly the longest demo I've ever played. I think I put 8 hours into the demo.
Can you carry your character from that? Oh, awesome.
Yes. And in fact, if you play the demo and then carry your save over, you get a bonus item, which is pretty wicked.
That is pretty cool, actually. It being a long demo.
Demos should be.
It should
like,
totally work. And then I got all of the. I didn't earn any trophies in demo, but all of the trophies that I would have earned, then just sort of automatically popped up when I activated
that's cool.
the game.
That's one good thing. Like it hardly ever happens now. But like occasionally on PS Plus, it would just be like that 1 hour free game trial thing, and then you can get, if you buy that game, then you can carry on where you left off and all the trophies being. Like I think that's going to be a really cool aspect of like PS4, because it won't take ages to download and install that stuff. You can like play that. You can stream that trial for an hour or whatever, and then say, "Oh, I like this. I'll just carry on." Then instantly buy it, and you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have earned a trophy by doing that, you cheap bastard. Just letting you know.
Damn it, now I think I have to go play the demo first, because actually we had a little Gaijin Gamer meetup that some of you attended last weekend, a couple days ago. And,
I'm only 1,000 kilometers away.
No excuse.
Where do you live?
I live in Hikari, Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi is down at the end of Honshu, sort of almost touching Kyushu.
Oh wow, that's
and
far.
Then the place where I live is kind of up the coast a bit, closer to Hiroshima. It's about 60 kilometers from Hiroshima.
Yes, that's quite far.
Yeah.
You could have flown. We had some chicken pie. You should have probably flown.
There are airports.
That's right. We just did a little transaction. I remember your address.
Yes.
What did we?
You're playing my copy of The Last of Us.
Oh, that's right. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Which I tried to use the online pass that I got from the party. There was another transaction for a used copy of The Last of Us, and the guy didn't want his this is Caustic Saint from the forums, and he got it from the Major, also from the forums, and sold me the code for 500 yen. And the Major, emailed me the code, and I tried it last night, and it didn't work.
Oh, drama!
No, it has to be. You have to redeem the code with the same region as the game is.
Right, I tried that on my Japanese
account.
Yeah, I did, and it still.
So it's a Japanese. It is a Japanese code.
It is a Japanese code. I tried it on. It's a Japanese game that I have, and I tried it on my Japanese PSN account, and it's like wah wah. But this was also about 3. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll try it again after this podcast.
Right. So, it has to be, the region of the game is irrelevant. Like, the region of the code is what's important.
Right. The region of the code is well, I tried it on both, so
There's going to be drama. There's going to be words had
there's got
on the forums. So get to gaijingamers.com if you want to experience some drama.
Yeah. I want my 500 yen back.
Drama.
Damn it. I also got Soul Sacrifice thrown at me for free. Actually, I wasn't even trying to haggle. Thanks, Mr. Hero GT, I think is the name from the forum.
Red Hero, innit?
No.
Oh, is it really?
People don't care about internet names.
No, I know.
Names irrelevant. Just
I've got to correct him when he's wrong.
I'm not wrong.
I think I might be wrong anyway.
I didn't get shit from Red Hero. Fuck that bastard. And I know he's listening. So I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Hero GT4 and apologize because I wasn't trying to haggle him at all. I just wanted to see how low he would go, and he finally went down to
0.
Zero is
Victory.
He actually begged me. I still turned him down. I said, "Dude, I don't want this game in Japanese."
I will say that because it's in Japanese, like the entire basic plot of the game is that you're reading a book.
Oh, great!
There is shitloads of text.
I should play the demo.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna write a review about a game that I have no idea what it's about. It's just
there's like a crazy ass book and blood dripping and it's totally metal.
Bunch of kanji and chicken scratch.
Speaking of games where the story is kind of the main appeal, I finished Gunpoint.
Oh yes.
And Gunpoint is you can watch videos of it. The gameplay itself is fairly simple. It's 2D. You're a guy who's got crazy trousers. He can jump really far and cling onto walls. You can smash through windows by jumping at certain angles. And the puzzly elements of it are you can rewire circuits so that a light switch will open a door on a different floor instead of turning off the light on the current floor and things like that. There are different coloured circuits, so they have to be matched together, which is how it develops into a proper puzzle game later on. You've got to get to a certain floor, then unlock the blue circuit, which will allow you to get to the third floor, which there you can unlock the green circuit, which means you can go back downstairs and get to the thing you were after in the first place, and things like that. So that it's kind of... I usually don't like puzzle games all that much, because if I can't do one puzzle, I give up and go do something else. I don't like cheating online because I feel like I'm not playing the game, and if I can't figure the answer out myself, I just go, well, fuck it then, I can't do it, and move on. This I was able to, whether it's just because it continues to be fun while it's difficult, and I was willing to sit there and think about it for longer, I'm not sure, or the puzzles were easy. Let's just assume the puzzles were easy because I did them. It was fun to play as a game, but the main thing is the story. You're getting texts from people asking, you're a spy, and you're getting asked, brown trench coat, hat, invisible face, and you're being asked to go and do little jobs, and a little mini sort of industrial espionage plot develops between the different parties, and it ends up being quite an interesting little personal story. The whole thing takes about 3.5 hours, something like that. But it's fun to play. The writing's really good. Really, it's not. I was trying to describe this at the meetup thing to people. I was like, it's not life-changing. It's not going to change your personality. It's just well written and fun, and the characters are quite, real seeming and good.
I was tuned into a different level of conversation, but I heard Ghost Trick referenced a lot.
Yeah, Ghost Trick sort of came up as being it's noir-y and it's slow-paced and puzzly, and you've got to think about your next move. So in that sense, yes, Ghost Trick is kind of what you'd compare it to, ish. Yeah, in that sense, I guess it is. But obviously, Ghost Trick is a lot longer and the story's sort of goes a lot deeper and things. This is, I think I got it in the state. I think I might have just paid full price for it actually. But it's worth it. It's I'd say it's worth $10 US, whatever that equates to, wherever you are. It's only 3.5 hours, and like I say, it's not life changing. But I equate that to going to watch a good film, and I enjoyed myself as I would, watching a decent film. You can play it one Sunday afternoon. You'll get a lot of satisfaction out of it. Go and watch a couple of gameplay videos. If the gameplay itself takes your fancy, then trust me when I say that the writing is interesting enough to keep you going and want to. I'd kind of play it, and I'd do a mission, and I'd be like, I wouldn't be exhausted. I'd just be like, I don't want to do the next mission yet, and I'd go and get like a drink, and I'd be like, okay, I'm ready, and I'd come back and do the next mission. So I was almost stuck to my computer, which doesn't happen with games, but I would still have to take little mini breaks in between what I was doing. But I would, I constantly flip between games that I'm playing anyway. But this one was I would flip between playing a mission, looking at the wall for a few seconds, and then playing the next mission. Whereas most games, I'll play one mission, then go and play an hour of Battlefield or some stupid shit, and then come back and try again. So this dragged me in. I finished it in a couple of days, and that's rare for me with computer games. Last time I did that was Metal Gear Solid 4.
I see you doing that. It drives me nuts on Steam. It's just like Dave playing Gunpoint. Dave's playing Dishonored. Now he's playing some other shit I never heard of. It's like, what the fuck? I gotta turn off Steam notifications. It's worse than freaking Farmville, I swear.
I played a bit of Dishonored, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. Dishonored's better than Bioshock Infinite.
Yes. Every time I was playing Bioshock Infinite, I kept thinking, man, I think I'd rather be playing Dishonored.
Yeah. I want to watch Bioshock Infinite as a film. I don't want to shoot anything in that game because it's boring as fuck.
Oh, sure. But
it makes me not want to play the game. It's so tedious. It's like clicking in StarCraft or something. I'm just, now I'm shooting at something. Okay.
I don't know. It's just, I'm trying to wrap my head around it because I think those are very like different games. Like,
well,
I haven't played Bioshock. La la la.
They're pretty well. I'm not going to spoil anything because I'm barely into it. I'm only like 3 or 4 hours in. They're pretty worlds. They're first person. They're kind of there's a bit of maybe magic going on type stuff. There's combat, and the combat in Dishonored is fun, and the combat in Bioshock is walk into a room and shoot people until they're dead and move on to the next room.
I don't think so. I think like Bioshock, there's a lot more like when you use the rails and stuff like this, it opens up a lot more. But I mean, I think that regardless, I couldn't like Dishonored at all. Like its stealth was really awkward and not great. And I know like lots of people say once you get past the fact that if things go wrong you should just go with it and not get frustrated and just go and go into combat rather than quitting. But like I can't mentally I can't make that separation. So
well, that's your problem.
It's just like I couldn't enjoy it. It didn't communicate well enough to me, like when I was being spotted and when I wasn't.
Really?
I didn't like it. Didn't like it.
Exclamation points didn't.
Yeah, the big exclamation marks on the screen and the guy's going, "Hey, get him!" Kind of things like that.
Okay, yeah, but that's pretty much when you are seen. You know, I mean, like it doesn't.
So before that, the yellow. Lightning bolts.
Yeah, I kind of look. What I kind of mean is like, hey, you might be visible now.
Oh, I was just looking at my arms, and if they were dark, then I'm in shadow. You got the guy's constantly got his arms outstretched, so you can see whether he's lit up or not.
I don't. But whatever. Like I know. I think I agree with Tanamar on Dishonored.
You might have to give it another go because it's decent. If you can get it for cheap or whatever.
And again, like it felt games that feel too open. Like I kind of go, there's too much to do here.
Chris is the only person on the planet who's going, oh, Grand Theft Auto 5 doesn't look that great. It's probably just going to be the same again. And we're all going, oh my god, Grand Theft Auto looks fantastic. It's probably going to be the same again.
I really like linearity. Like I like linear things. Like I don't know, because I think I'm so obsessed by narrative. Like
you know what you should watch? A film.
No, I want to play. I want to play things that give me a similar experience.
But no, seriously, I think I would much rather watch. Maybe this has happened. Someone might have made a series on YouTube about Bioshock Infinite, all the parts where people are talking, and the story stuff. I would like to see that.
I hate the parts where people are talking as much. I think the dialogue in Bioshock Infinite is garbage. Garbage.
Well, I think like if you say, if you compare it, I don't know how we got onto Bioshock Infinite because neither of us were even fucking playing.
Comparing it to Dishonored. I played both of them this week. I just didn't enjoy Bioshock.
Right. Bioshock Infinite, like, is, if you compare it to, say, The Last of Us, like, they're both linear stories, but Last of Us tells a lot of its story through incidental stuff in gameplay, and Bioshock Infinite is, there's just this, I mean, it is like the new poster child for, like, ludonarrative dissonance in terms of what you're playing and what the story is. So
now the story is happening. Now you must shoot the bad man. Now the story is happening. And I agree, the dialogue isn't great. I think the world's really nice.
It's beautiful.
I think,
but yeah, the first 90 minutes and the last 90 minutes are the best first 90 minutes and the last 90 minutes in video games.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. I've heard that
ever.
actually.
The middle bit can fuck off. Like, basically.
I think maybe I'm just these days I either play big sandbox PC games, weird little indie games, or the very pinnacle of the mainstream stuff. I think that's basically my playing style. I don't really play the attempts at being mainstream things. So having the very cinematic, interesting opening that kind of gets your interest and things like that didn't wow me. I was like, okay, this is the start of a computer game. Well done. So I wasn't as wowed. I found it cool. I found the whole lighthouse thing and everything in BioShock was intriguing. But it wasn't mind blowing. It was just, okay, this is the start of a game.
If you play BioShock Infinite to the end gives you so much insight to the beginning that you go, oh, that is awesome.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll watch the video the last hour then.
I disagreed. I totally... Like, I was like, oh, really?
Maybe I could get an intern to come and do all this shit, like, oh, God, there's a bad man, here's the controller. And just do it that. Maybe that's the way I should play Bioshock Infinite. I genuinely might just watch a video of all the, the important parts, shrunk down to 3 hours or something, and do it that way.
You should probably do that just because it's like one of those games that people are talking about. But I honestly, at this point, I think people should probably stop talking about it. I don't think it's got anything as much of the innovation or any kind of groundbreaking anything in it. It's just...
I think
we're the only people here. I think we're the only people on the planet still talking about it. Actually, right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
I think
the last discussion ever.
I think the world designer people did a great job.
Yes.
I just don't think there was much communication between them and necessarily the story people or the dialogue people. I think it was very pretty, and some of the sort of mechanics of how the world works were very interesting. I think you could set a very good game there, but they didn't. I think that's the issue.
I mean, like, in terms of what it was doing, I think thematically, like, it handled a lot of stuff that games typically don't handle. And
well, yeah, I can't completely diss the story until I finished it, so
yeah,
or at least watched it be finished.
But yeah, I mean, I can get behind. I mean, I said all this. Yeah, Jay's right. Like, I said all this in my review fucking 6 months ago.
All right.
Yeah.
Anagram round. Oh, I'm falling backwards on my chair. I'll be back in a second. Here we are. I'm back. All right. So I will say an anagram. It is an anagram of the title of a computer game. This computer game, I think, it is a series now. I'm pretty sure the first one was just called This, but now the games are always called This, : so, yes, keep that in mind. I think the first one was just called This, without a subtitle. All right. Pencils at the ready, or however you plan to do this? Yeah? All right. This one will be easy. You'll get it quite quickly, I think, so brains sharp. Jaded rank tax.
Whoa! What kind of tax?
It's just a gross tax, a rank tax. Sorry.
No. Do you mean tax as in like money tax?
TAX.
Tax as in thumbtacks.
Tax for money.
Oh, okay.
Money tax.
But the X is useful, isn't it? Oh, I know what it is. Yeah.
He's not buzzed in. Someone can buzz it. Oh, Chris is going to get all 3 points.
It's is it Jack and Daxter?
It's Jack and Daxter. Yeah. Well done, Chris. 3 points to Chris.
I was thinking this Jack and Daxter doesn't work.
Why?
This. You said it was going to be this something.
No, Jay, I meant...
You said this.
No, I said this because I'm not going to tell you the title of the game because that would give you the answer.
Okay.
I think the
Well,
others were just called
I thought you were
Jack 2
trying
and
to,
Jack 3.
help us.
When I said this is the title of the game, I wasn't
You
being literal.
you said this blank somewhere in there.
Yeah,
This
right. Let
blank.
me do that description again.
As in title blank.
Yeah, title X, comma, subtitle would be the.
Verbatim. You said
None of them
part one
had
is called
subtitles,
this,
though.
and then
Like,
the second
if
one
you-
is not this.
Were they always just called Jack and Daxter 2 and Jack and Daxter 3?
No, they were called Jack 2 and Jack 3.
Ah, right, okay, alright.
I demand a recount.
A
That
recount
was-
of what?
The recount says I got all 3 points today.
That's what I'm saying.
Alright, yeah.
bullshit.
Good, recount done. Is there anything else on my list? I've done Gunpoint. That's all you need to really hear about from me. Alright, so next, after we do this, I'm going to bugger off because I have not played The Last of Us because my PlayStation is very dusty. And I haven't bought it yet. So, you chaps, do we want to describe, without any spoilers, roughly where Jay is up to, and that's how far you will go today. So you can, if you're sort of still playing Last of Us, listen to this spoiler-free description of where they're up to, and if you're up to there too, you can listen. And if you're not up to there yet, don't listen. Got it?
If you have come out of the hotel,
Okay.
then
If you know,
it is
you'll know what
safe.
that means if you're playing Last of
Yeah.
Us. If you've come out of the hotel, you're perfectly free to listen to this next spoiler section because you're already up to that point. If you haven't come out of the hotel, run away! Run away now! Alright, thank you very much. This has been the Where Does Godzilla Poopcast. My name was Space David. Still is. Chris Charlton. Well, are you going to do a proper outro at the end? I'll just fuck off now and play some music, shall I?
Yeah,
But
but
don't-
then the people that are turning off won't know where to follow me and Jay and
Oh, that's
Jim on
true.
Twitter.
That's true.
Yeah, 'cause
Alright.
we split it up.
You can stalk me on Twitter. I'm Spacing David. You can stalk Chris on Twitter. He's at ReasonJP. You can stalk Jay on Twitter. He's at Jason Stillwell. And you can stalk Jim on Twitter. He's
Yeah?
What's your Twitter name?
At Eastern Smooth.
No spaces.
No spaces.
Eastern Smooth, no spaces. And yeah, there is a Gaijin Gamers, all one word, I think, Steam group, and me and Jim are both in that, I believe.
Yep.
And Jay.
Yep.
Chris is the only one who isn't, in fact. And you can go to gaijingamers.com. That's the forums. The sort of thing we get up to are we meet each other up in Tokyo and we have a pie. That's what we did this weekend.
Where does GodzillaPoop.com for Stealth
thing
Inc.
you're listening
review.
to
Jim wrote something about Little Inferno. Inferno.
Little
Little Inferno, yeah.
And because of that, in
the-
fact, because of that review, it
other
made me
stuff.
want to play all the way through Little Inferno because I thought it was just a fun little toy and it was interesting and quirky, and then I sort of gave up on it after an hour or two. But it sounds
Stuff
like
happens.
it sounds like things go on and there's a sort of a story, so I want to play that.
Kind of, yeah.
So all right, cool. Go to that then. Coming up is the Last of Us spoiler cast. If you've left the hotel, keep listening. If you haven't, run now. Goodbye.
Run away!
Music time.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.